This is the Blockchain Show's Ethereum spin-off, the Ethereum Show. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Kosala Hemachandra, the founder of MyEtherWallet, an OG in the Ethereum ecosystem and launched while ETH was in command line only back in 2015. Since then, the wallet world has really changed. So we're going to get into how crypto wallets have evolved and where MyEtherWallet is heading, why Mu sees mobile as the next wave of financial inclusion, ETH 2.0, how his quick visit to see his family in Sri Lanka means he's running his company while being locked down at his parents' home indefinitely, as well as Mu's latest integration with Dex.ag, giving the best Dex pricing on Mu for both mobile and web, and a few other things. So without further ado, Kosala, how are you today?
I'm good, Ethan. How are you?
Doing pretty well. These are kind of, I don't know what to call it, strange times, unprecedented times, but it's been really good to have the podcast to connect with people, and really excited to talk to you today. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you to Ethan. I'm really excited to be here as well. Yeah, definitely tough times.
Yeah. So hopefully we can bring a little crypto cheer to our audience. I know that we've got a lot of fans of Ethereum that listen. Probably the best way to kick this off is just to have you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of bring us up to speed on where you're at in MyEtherWallet.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So I'm Kosala Hemachandra, founder and CEO of MyEtherWallet. So for those who are not familiar with MyEtherWallet is basically, we like to have our motto as, if it works on Ethereum, it works on Mu. Basically, Mu is safe, free, open source platform that puts you in control of your own funds as the nexus of all interactions on Ethereum. So what that means is that if you can think of doing anything on Ethereum, or like if you plan on doing anything on Ethereum, that's what MyEtherWallet is for. Like you can simply go to MyEtherWallet and accomplish that task. So we started in 2015 August, and it's been about, like, we're hitting 5 years pretty soon. And it's been quite a journey. Initially, we were focused on supporting the developers to kickstart that development process and like get them into Ethereum. But like as time moved on, like as Ethereum grew, as like mainstream started picking up Ethereum, we slowly changed ourselves to focus more on mainstream audience and like get general public to use Ethereum and like create interfaces, create platforms, create apps that are especially focused on supporting general public, general audience, and like help them onboard to Ethereum.
MyEtherWallet, it's easily the especially within the the Ethereum centric community. I'm kind of curious, how do you guys continuously offer all these great features? Like how are you guys doing that?
I have to go like a little back in history. The main reason why I like started coding, or like why I wanted to create MyEtherWallet, is when I saw users, or like at that time it was mainly developers, like people with some sort of technical knowledge. And I'm not gonna like ignore the people like who are new to Ethereum back then, but mainly most of them were developers, and even they were having issues. I'm talking about like 2015, having issues on doing simple tasks like sending a transaction or like opening their pre-sale wallet. So like basic tasks that can be very easily accomplished today. Like back then, the only way to access Ethereum was through command line, and it was a little bit of a mess. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's an opportunity. Like I have the capability to help them out. So I put together a small UI. Like we continue with the same ethos, meaning like whenever we see a problem, whenever we see a bottleneck in Ethereum, that's where we jump in. We create a solution for that. We create a new feature for that. We just make it simple and easy for users to get in and like continue with their process. And that said, just to be on top of like Ethereum developments, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with like all the new features that are coming in pretty much every day. Like there's something or like a new smart contract or new decentralized application that comes out, which is supported by Ethereum. And in order to do that, we have to be continuously, like constantly on top of everything to make sure like we can integrate that, or we can support those users, or we can make it simple, and how to give users a better user experience. So it's a very uh, it's not a tough task, but like it's very like time consuming task for sure. And but like we just like have to be constantly on top of everything, and we enjoy doing it. So it's not that difficult for us, and that's what MyEtherWallet is all about, like supporting everything that's on Ethereum.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I know that it's a very rapidly evolving ecosystem, if you will, and we've seen a few crypto wallets come and go, but curious to get your take on how crypto wallets have evolved and where you think MyEtherWallet is heading.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, for sure. Like there were a whole bunch of crypto wallets. Like even like there were a bunch of crypto wallets that started around the same time period as MyEtherWallet, but unfortunately, those doesn't exist anymore. And most of the wallet services that exist today are in a way that accomplish of bringing in new people. Like it's focused on bringing in new people. That's the reason why it exists. Like all the wallets that were focused on supporting developers or like technical users back then and did not change their way of doing things just disappeared, because like number of technical users or developers that are right now is definitely going up, but they have access to more tools. They don't need a simple user interface, because they're like now take that the education side of things, and the tools and accessibility to all this development documentation is it's awesome. Like anyone can go and like figure out anything that they want to do on Ethereum. So like for them, those tools exist, and like the wallets that changed their way of doing things or like started focusing on actual mainstream general audience, those are the wallets that exist today. And what New is doing, we want to capture, I mean, obviously, like as a company, we want to grow. And in order to do that, in order to not hit a plateau, we want to capture the audience that are outside of maybe like Ethereum, or like maybe the people who are not even familiar with crypto or like blockchain in general. So that's where we are headed right now. With our like new mobile app release, which is New Wallet, we are focusing on getting those people into crypto, into blockchain, and into Ethereum. And mainly, like if you think about it, 98% of the developing world, they have smartphones, and not that many people have access to laptop or desktop. So like MyEtherWallet as a website might not be the best suitable method that they can access or get into crypto or Ethereum. So that's why we focused on creating mobile apps. So we have a team that are like completely focused on developing mobile, like our mobile platform, and making it better and easy. And at the same time, we are also continuing our desktop side of things, just like we did before. So it's a market like Ethereum or crypto, blockchain, everything. Like it's developing so fast. It's like the amount of users that are coming in is amazingly high. So in order to support them, in order to like increase that rate, we just have to be on top of it and start supporting them and make it easy. And that's a struggle that we're facing every day to figure out like better ways and easier ways to bring these features to them.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. You're talking about financial inclusion. I'm curious if you think that mobile is kind of the next wave, or is there some sort of new mechanism that we haven't really seen yet?
So that's a good question. And like even internally, we've been debating with our teams about like where are we heading, or like what's the user base is heading right now. I think mobile will play a major role in the future, very near future. So it's very similar to what happened with um, like for example Facebook, right? Like it came out as a desktop and then like switched to mobile, and like now most of the users are using Facebook on like as an app. So it's I think that's where like crypto or like crypto apps or blockchain apps, Ethereum apps, that's where it's headed. But in order to completely support that ecosystem, we have to still develop a whole bunch of tools. And also, more than that, we have to depend on, uh, for example, like app stores, right? Like the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and their regulations, and even like you cannot depend on a third party. Unfortunately, like even like we are trying to create decentralized applications, but like we're stuck and we have to depend on them in order to distribute these applications. So that's why I say it's there, like we are headed that way, but we still have to figure out these situations and overcome these barriers in order to hit the mass market without having to worry about, like, for example, like Apple Store taking down your app, or like Google Play Store, like banning your app for some reason. And like it recently happened to Mew MyEtherWallet Chrome extension. Actually, it it wasn't because of anything that we did wrong. It's just like for some reason they like I think like a group of users, a group of like scammers or like phishers started reporting the Chrome extension, and Google, without even thinking about, we already have 150,000 users on that, without even asking us for more information or without even like checking the legitimacy of those reports, they took down the Chrome extension. And we had to like message them, we had to contact them, and it took us about like good 12 hours to get the Chrome extension back online. And like when you're creating decentralized applications, those shouldn't be the problems that you should be facing. So we are definitely headed to mobile side of things, but we still have these little knickknacks to figure out and solve as we move forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you guys had to deal with that. That must be incredibly frustrating. And it's, I don't know if there's irony in having like a, decentralized themed application being centrally kind of hindered there.
It is.
It makes me wonder if there's a way forward where we can get access to apps without having these giant corporations kind of moderating whether or not we can access them.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly like the issue that I'm having, or the concern that I'm having every time we release a new application, that we are completely like hindered by the like rules and regulations imposed by these big corporations. Unfortunately, that's the best way to distribute the applications right now. But again, there's like those are the problems that we have to face and solve as we move forward.
Right. And, since we're kind of on the topic, with Mew being maybe more so of a target for hackers, scammers, that sort of thing, on the user side of things, what kind of precautions should users take when using Mew?
That's an awesome question, and I'm glad you asked that question. So every time we tell our users, like, you are the one who's in control, right? Like, you have to make sure the funds are safe, and you have to do certain things, or like you have to take certain precautions to make sure your funds are safe. So one, if I want people to take away one point, is that make sure you do your research before you unlock your wallet, or like use your wallet in any platform. So the second point will be either like download MyWallet app. I'm obviously like trying to promote MyWallet here, but either that or buy a hardware wallet. And that's like the 2 points that if I want people to take away from this, is it's definitely like those two other points that I want people to understand and educate themselves. So there are a lot of like phishing and scams going on in this ecosystem, or like in these platforms, and it's something that we have actually two security firms that are constantly monitoring. Like I think last time it was around like 20,000 websites, like web domain registrations that are similar to MyEtherWallet. And then they're constantly taking down whenever if they try to mimic, or if they try to scam any in any way, they take down about like 10, like I'd say 5 to 10 websites a day. So it's a lot of websites, and it has gotten a lot better since like 2015. So I'm really glad that our users are getting better and like educating themselves about these things, and they have more ways of securing their wallets now than they had before, because before it was just like a software method, like a key store file or something like that. But now they have hardware wallets and other like highly secure mobile applications that they can download in order to secure their wallets. So it's getting there, it's getting better, but unfortunately, like there's still a lot of these hacks and like phishing attempts happening in this space, and we have multiple ways of educating our users. We have our Mutopia account, Mutopia blog, which like posts at least 2 to 3 blog posts every week about either like a phishing attempt on how to secure yourself, or about something like in general about crypto and how to navigate this crypto forest and make yourself comfortable, or like make yourself familiar with what's happening. And those are like the ways that we try to educate the users. But like I mentioned before, if you're getting into crypto, or if you're going to use a certain platform, please educate yourself. And the second one is that please buy a hardware wallet, or get a secure enough mobile app so that you can secure your funds. And unfortunately, like if you I don't want to scare away people, but at the same time, I want to emphasize the fact that blockchain, or like Ethereum, Bitcoin, these like decentralized, these cryptocurrencies are all about bringing back power to the people. Means you're the one who's in control of your own funds, and unfortunately, that comes with a downside, which is the fact that you have to make sure you are securing your wallet, and you're educating yourself to secure your wallet.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information there. Thank you for that. And, it kind of makes me think about how far the space has come in the last few years. And there's talk about, the future, Ethereum 2.0. There's, the whole issue of, proof of stake coming up. And I would really like to get your take on all of that, and if Mu has any related plans.
Yeah, so E 2.0, it's like it's getting postponed every single time I like read an article or like talk to someone. It's like, oh, it got postponed again, or like it probably will get postponed again. But it is like in a way it's okay. Like in my opinion, we're all about creating good products, not like fast products, like not quick products that comes out without like proper testing, or without proper due diligence on like the code and multiple like test clients and all that. So I'm like pretty confident that E 2.0 will happen this year, and with that, it'll take Ethereum to the next level, which is like taking the first step towards like full POS, which is like we'll call it phase zero, and it'll let you lock your ETH, like lock certain number of ETH in and like stake that, and you'll earn interest uh, as like mining rewards as you go. So that's a pretty big leap in blockchain in general, because it's not like when first Ethereum when it came out first, we did not have smart contracts in blockchains. So it introduced this like new way of thinking how the blockchain should be. I think this is like the next step. Ethereum will introduce a new way of thinking how proof of stake should be. And it's not going to be an easy task. And that's why it's taking so long to do it right. And the best brains in the whole world are working on it. So, and we are so close. We'll get there. Like I'm pretty sure the phase zero the beacon chain will be released this year. And with that said, yes, Mu is working on ways of helping our users stake their ETH and earn rewards for their staking and make it seamless as much as possible, and ways of like just figuring out like withdrawal processes, redeeming ETH, and making sure that maybe even like let them redeem like a one-to-one peg type of token with like the beacon chain ETH versus like the main chain ETH. So yeah, we are definitely working on multiple new features around this ETH 2.0, and that will be released most likely after the ETH 2.0 launch. So until like the actual launch of beacon chain, we cannot like release the features. So, but yes, we are working on like an amazing set of features on Mu to support beacon chain.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I think, I really like what you said there, especially at the end, briefly mentioning Bitcoin. And, we've been talking about, Bitcoin's role in, Ethereum's role in Bitcoin moving forward, kind of some predictions, things like that. Do you think that eventually maybe Ethereum will flip or surpass Bitcoin's market cap?
So I'm a big believer in Bitcoin as like a value token. So the way that I look at Bitcoin is Bitcoin is the value token and Ethereum is the utility token. So I think they will both coexist, and I don't know whether like Ethereum will flip or the Bitcoin will become the second one, or Ethereum will like become the first one. I'm not exactly sure about that, but even if that's the case, like even if Ethereum becomes the first coin, I don't think it'll do much of a difference to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will still exist as the value token. And now, like nowadays, you can see that a lot of people are creating bridges between Bitcoin, like Ethereum bridge, like one-to-one peg bridge between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So you can transfer your Bitcoin to as a ERC20 token to Ethereum, which is amazing, because now you can use Bitcoins inside Ethereum to do like transactions and other tasks, like interact with devs and all that. And also at the same time, like once you're done with that, like when you want your Bitcoins back, you can go back to you can burn the tokens in Ethereum and then get back Bitcoins in return on your Bitcoin mainnet. So I think this is how it will be in the future. Like both of them will coexist, and like in a way, like if you go back to past and like think about why Ethereum like came, what is ETH? ETH is actually never meant to be a monetary or like a value token. It's meant to be a utility token. It is gas in Ethereum network, meaning like you pay. It's like gasoline that you put in your car, right? Like you have to put gasoline to do like go from point A to point B. That's what ETH is. And Bitcoin is in my opinion, Bitcoin is the value or like the money that you use to buy the gas. So that will continue. I think like that that's what will be in the future, and it'll continue to both of them will continue to coexist.
Yeah, that's very well said. Just to kind of continue down the technical side of things here, talking about ENS, we've talked about before, Ethereum domains.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that at all in relation to Mu?
Yeah. So a big fan of ENS, and I'm not sure whether you're familiar with Unstoppable Domains, which are .crypto, which also exist in Ethereum network. So those are two different groups that are working on pretty like similar set of features. Big fan, like a super fan of ENS and Unstoppable Domains, and I think it has the potential of those two are actually like starting to happen right now. Like we are starting to see it. When ENS first came out, like it was literally about like, oh, you can you don't have to remember these 0x and like 40 hex characters as the address. You can change it to Kosala.eth or like MyEtherWallet.eth, and then it'll simply resolve to your address, right? Like that was the purpose. But now you can host websites like decentralized applications on your ENS name. And for people who are familiar with IPFS is like a decentralized file storage. It's not made by Ethereum, or like it doesn't have like a cryptocurrency back to it, but it's a decentralized file storage, and then you can connect that with ENS to host decentralized websites. And that's an amazing feature. Like no one can take down those websites, and that's what we are trying to achieve, right? Like we want centralized. We want to create apps and like sites that are not controlled by centralized authorities, and when they want to take it down, like they are not, like right now all the websites a big enough corporation can take it down, but like with this kind of features, that's not possible. And that said, yes, Mu has full support for both ENS and Unstoppable Domains. We have the ENS manager. You can buy .eth names. So, for example, if John or Mark or like Jessica or someone wants to buy a name, they can go and like create Jessica.eth, and you can buy, like, I think the ENS names are, if I'm not mistaken, $5 per year, and you can just simply like pay that in ETH and then buy that name for yourself, and that's yours, and no one can change that unless you don't renew it like after a year, and obviously then someone else can buy it. But until then, it's yours. No one can even touch that. Like you are in full control of that name and what you do with it. So that's pretty amazing, and that's what Ethereum can achieve. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah, Ethereum really struck me as a game changer, and I'm always continually amazed at just the possibilities that are thought up, as we move forward.
It is, yeah. I'm still fascinated. Like I was fascinated in 2015, but like now I'm still, every single day I get fascinated by something new.
Yeah, and we started out talking about a little bit about global, the situation, the pandemic, and in America it's been a little I don't want to call it unrest. A little people are starting to well, there's definitely a big change going on, and I'm curious what it's like in your part of the world. I know that you're probably, are you still locked down at home?
Yeah, so I'm actually based in Los Angeles, but I traveled. I left. I'm originally from Sri Lanka, so end of December I came back, like the last week of December, came back to Sri Lanka for the holidays, and after that I just got stuck in Sri Lanka for like the past like almost 6 months now, and and but like the beauty of it is that yes, like everything's happening, and yes, of course, like in US, the things are not looking good, or like everything's opening up, but at the same time I'm really worried because like the number of cases are going up, and but still people are opening up everything. So yeah, there are so many, like debatable uh, answers and questions in that, um but in a way, like this just opened up, not just in crypto, like not just in blockchain, like opened up lot of possibilities in like all companies, all organizations to realize, okay, like we can do certain things remotely. Like we can have certain employees remotely. So we don't have to have an office, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we'll learn like when we come out of this, and we will come out of this. Like it's not going to last forever. Like it's already like passing, and like things are looking good about the future, and people are learning to get used to the whole situation, and people are being really careful, and just imagine all, like, because of the precautions that people are taking due to the COVID-19 situation, they're not getting sick by other diseases, like other sicknesses, right? Like because they're like cleaning their hands and they're wearing masks and all that. So it is a good thing. Like in a way, we'll like learn a lot of new ways to protect ourselves. But in crypto side of things, that's so like like MyEtherWallet is one of the few companies that actually have an office like in this space. Like not that many companies um, have an office. Like everyone works very like in a distributed manner. Like everyone's all across the world. Um, but like even with new, like everyone at the whole new team had a chance to work at home once a week, so we were already prepared in a way to work remotely. So the switch between working at an office to working home or working remotely was seamless for us. We just had to like decide, okay, things are not looking good. Even before Los Angeles went to lockdown, like a week before Los Angeles actually went to lockdown, we decided, okay, like things are not looking good, so we are going to make sure like everyone works remotely. So and I'm really like happy that our whole team is very safe and staying at home, and no one is sick, and I'm really glad and really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that as well. And Kosala, it's been a real pleasure, real honor speaking with you today. We just got a few minutes left here. Maybe tell us where people can go to learn more and to get involved.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ethan. To learn more, I would really recommend our Twitter, which is twitter.com/myetherwallet. That's our Twitter handle. And if you want to learn about crypto or blockchain and Ethereum as a general subject, please go to mewtopia.com, which is mewtopia.com. And also, if you would like to download our mobile application, which we released about like 2 months ago, go ahead to your favorite like Play Store or App Store, and then search for Mew Wallet, which is MEW Wallet, and you'll have access to like all the features that our phone application can give you, and it comes with the security, and it also comes with the ability to connect that wallet with our main site, which is www.myetherwallet.com.
All right. Well, Kosala, thanks again. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Ethan. This has been amazing. Thanks for having me.